In this video, I cover the price of Bitcoin with a quick update. We also look at a few of the other cryptocurrencies and we ask the question, are we done in terms of this correction or do we still have a lot further to go? So that's what I discuss in this video. Hello everyone, it's Sajad. Hope you're doing good. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell. I'm doing regular updates, especially on the stock market indices, cryptocurrencies. Also a lot of videos about NFTs is something I've been involved with and that's going really well. So in terms of Bitcoin at the moment, in my recent updates, I am generally quite bearish in the short term on Bitcoin. I think we have more correction to go. That's my personal opinion anyway, but we'll have a look at the exact structure in just a minute. In terms of fair greed at the moment, we're pretty low. So we're at the level of 24 at the moment. And you can see here yesterday, last week, last month, there was greed in the market. Not significant. I don't think that was a market top in any way, in my opinion. The problem is when we get corrections, they tend to be quite deep. The way cryptos like to move is, and if you look at any of the ones that have been pumping this year, even things like Sandbox, etc., they all like to move up. Sorry, I think it was Decentraland that did this as well, January, February this year. They all like to move up. And then before the next wave, they do like to correct 80 odd %. That's just how it is. Bitcoin's no different. And then it moves to the next leg. So if you believe like I do that Bitcoin will move up, and I'm talking in the next kind of 12, 18 months, that type of time frame, it's going to move up all the way up to 300,000 and above. I personally think that's very likely to happen. The way it's going to do it, as I mentioned in my video from about a week or so ago, is I think it's going to move all the way down to 30 first and then do the 10x up. This is just how crypto works. Unfortunately, with crypto, especially things like Bitcoin, there's a lot of leverage positions. That's why you get these sharp sell-offs. Leverage meaning people actually borrowing money to put, so rather than just using cash, they're buying positions where the platform's actually offering them 2, 3x, 5x, 10x, the cash they actually have in their trader account to make that move. So then when you get any sharp sell-offs, they tend to accelerate like they did here and we spiked all the way down to 41. Now, in my opinion, from looking at this, I think we're flagging up, which is not a good sign. And this looks like a three-way move potentially as well. So I actually think we're going to re-explore these lows or even lower. That's what I think is potentially going on. How much further we have to go, we'll wait and see. It depends on how this structure kind of plays out, whether it'll be a short, sharp sell-off again, and then it's the next spike, and then we slowly build a platform from here and we start moving up. Again, this is just my opinion, it's not financial advice. Let me know in the comment section below what you think is going on with cryptocurrencies. We're going to have a look at another couple of cryptocurrencies as well, because I think there's confluence here and it actually confirms what might be going on. Because the thing with cryptocurrency is they do all in general move with Bitcoin. I mean, sometimes you get more Bitcoin dominance, sometimes a little bit less, but in general, that's how the kind of cycles occur. And I don't think that's really changed at all, apart from the fact that sometimes when we get a shorter move in Bitcoin, we get a more accelerated move in cryptocurrencies. It's possible here we could be doing a double correction. What I'd be looking for here is sometimes equality when it comes to Fibonacci extensions. So if you look from the top there all the way down to this low around the 53.3 level, and you can see one-to-one relationship is about 43. But if it's a deeper correction, potentially we could go into the 37,000 level, exactly 40 as well. That might be the one, or 34. So it just depends how the structure kind of pans out. We're still seeing good impulse waves down, which is actually a bad sign. That's not what you want to see. But in this final move, this may be in a wave 4. So we might be now starting the final kind of spike down. And it looks like we probably will kind of break this support. I mean, it's not guaranteed, I know, but that's how I'm looking at it. I don't think we're going to turn up from here. Not yet anyway. I don't think that's going to happen. I still think there's a bit more pain to come on the price of Bitcoin. Look at Cardano first. I mentioned this a couple of videos back. This looks very, very sketchy in terms of a structure. And you can see already, if we're calling this an impulse, it's kind of already corrected the entire way. I mean, it's hard even to work out where the low is here exactly, but we're already kind of 88%, 90% down. And like I said, this is not atypical for this market. You can still get support here and we can move up from here. But I mean, where are we in terms of this overall structure? So if we actually zoom out, so let me just get on a 2-day chart. I'm going to switch to a log chart here, so it's kind of easier to look at the kind of price structure here. So this was the low, 13th March to 2020, and we've been pumping ever since. In terms of actual the move right to the top there, we're talking 16,000%. So a ridiculous move. So these corrections shouldn't be any surprise. I mean, look how far we've actually moved up from there. The question was whether from here we were starting a next bullish leg up. And I don't think that's clear here at all. I think potentially that could have been the end of this move. So we might be in for a bigger correction in Cardano where potentially we move $1 or lower. So it's more severe correction. That's something to look out for. If we're not holding these levels, this whole area here, let me just mark that off. So you can see here where we had spikes low to support. So all of this area around here. So that's everything from around the 115, 170 mark all the way up to 105. If we're not finding support here and price is not preparing, so basically with these kind of patterns now, you're trying to look for a bottoming pattern here. If we're not seeing that, or we're not seeing a sharp spike down and then a move up, then we're in trouble. So in terms of what the pattern might look like, if you even have a look here on the same chart of Cardano, you can see here what it might look like. So we move down, not particularly sharp, and then from the bottom, we develop a pattern here where you get a lot of price action in a short kind of price level or between two price levels. Lots of price action there, moving sideways, consolidating. That's what we're looking for here. And then we build a platform, and then you get a breakout over the top, and then that's potentially a very good buying opportunity. Because like I said, when we're doing the next leg, let's say Cardano is going to take part in that for argument's sake. If it is, then Cardano is going to do the same thing. It's going to want to go back down to $1 or below and then do a 10x moonshot. So you should be excited if you're involved in crypto or looking to get involved, because once this is all done, we're going to move up. Doesn't matter what the narrative is. This is how things move. Very likely it'll be all about inflation again, and they'll be worried about inflation. And the narrative is always, if everybody thinks inflation is going on, it's all perception. That's why everybody jumps into crypto, even though that's not really why you do it. You do it because everybody else is doing it and you're seeing the market move up. So self-fulfilling prophecy in a sense, but then that's why we get these massive corrections as well, where everybody gets fearful. Now, the problem is with stuff like Cardano, for a lot of people who are trapped up here, a lot of them will have already sold, stops triggered, especially in leveraged positions, or they would have just become fearful. And the thing is with crypto, you never really know where the bottom is in a market. Let's have a look at another one. XRP is one I'm following very closely and one I'm definitely looking to get back into, just because I think long term, it's good potential there. Even if, the probability is only 20% of it 10xing or 30xing, I would take that, because you're going to get everything at such a good price. Now, the problem here is from these lows and these corrections, there's a lot of overlap in price. I'm going to do a separate video on this, but I'm starting to form the opinion now that a lot of the more older school, the original large cap cryptocurrencies, like for example XRP from years ago, that were one of the main names, a lot of them, I'm not convinced that they're going to now do these 30x, 40x moonshots. I don't think that's going to happen. And if you look at the overall chart, I think we might be in the problem with things like XRP, where it might never break out and it might just keep correcting for years. That's genuinely what I'm thinking. And the reason behind that, it's not necessarily the structure, although that definitely has a part to play here. All of this overlapping price action, there's no real extension here in any of the waves. Now, I know I'm on a log chart, but even then, that's one issue. But the other issue is when you look back, so those classic ones like XRP, we put them in the left here. But this year, look how many new amazing cryptocurrencies there are with massive use cases that are already being used. Some of them are platforms in themselves, for example, or related to gaming or related to the metaverse, etc. So you've got them all here on the right-hand side, and they have much better use cases, and they're already in use as compared to XRP. So they will be the ones that do the 30x moonshots, not the old school ones like Bitcoin Cash and rubbish like that we saw from a few years ago. That's an opinion I'm forming now, because I originally thought these old ones, they'll break out like Bitcoin does and everything else, but no. And Bitcoin is very different to some of these other classic ones, because Bitcoin is literally digital gold. And that's why a lot of people have been flocking to it this last kind of year and a half. So I think Bitcoin is definitely here to stay, but some of these other ones, I'm actually not that convinced. So if I do see further correction in XRP, I may have a small play. I may get a little 2x, even if it's correcting, which I'll take, which is fine. And there's an off chance that we might get further consolidation and then a massive breakthrough with XRP. That's possible as well. But again, like I said, I'm not 100% convinced, but it's worth the trade in terms of risk reward. Just got a chart up here as well of Decentraland, which is Mana USD. And this, just to give you an idea. So, I mean, Mana's been around for a lot longer than people think, for a few years now. But there was a significant bottom there, 13th of March 2020, that we can see. But if you have a look at the price action, I mean, what was that in terms of correction? I mean, you're talking 90% correction before it then took off. And then from there, well, what have we done in terms of price? I mean, let's talk about just from January this year as well. I mean, it's up 3,500%. So significant move there. And you're getting good structure there. You're getting clear, impulsive price action. So this potentially could have a lot more to go. It may have a significant correction as well with everything else and get dragged down. But then after that, it could move. That's why I'm actually preferring these. But again, I'll discuss that in a separate video. If there are any other cryptocurrencies you want me to cover, just pop them in the comment section below. I'll do a general video like this where we go through a few of them. But like I said, in my opinion, I think we have more correction to go. And I think after that is done, you will get a very, very good buying opportunity in pretty much anything in crypto. But I personally favor, I'm going for a lot of the ones that are doing well this year, have good use cases, but more importantly, even than the use case, have good structure. They've already made impulsive breakouts this year and they're currently in correction. That's not going over 100% correction. Thanks for listening.